I was also just informed that Evan Munger lost his grandmother yesterday. So a lot of grieving folks. Congregation looks still in their grief as well. So sorry to hear that. We'll pray for that in a second as well. Thanks for being here. I'd like to, if you're a visitor, I'd like to welcome you to City Church Eugene. Thank you for coming. It's really, we really understand that there's a lot of options out there. There's a lot of good churches, and we thank you for being here with us this morning. And we hope that whether you're here for a long time or here just this morning, our hope is that you hear something of grace, of the love of God for you, not just in general, but for you this morning. We're in the third week of a sermon series on Ecclesiastes, and if you've missed the first two, I would invite you can find those previous two online. You can go to our website and download those. There's video now if you want to watch them. I don't know why you would, but some people would rather watch video than listen to audio. So if that floats your boat, it's out there. One of the things I said last week was that you guys didn't know this about my call here, but one of the things that's a part of my call is to help you appreciate good music. And so if you want to play a little game, we're maybe going to hand out scorecards from now on where you can count the number of music references that are made along the way. So just keep up, download, listen. It's all good stuff. October 1, 1970, at the Sunset Sound Recording Studio in Los Angeles, Janis Joplin, who was working on her first solo album, got to toward the end and surprisingly asked her producer to roll on a song that she had. She said, "I've got a song I'd like to sing." The studio band was not necessary. They were there, but they weren't included in on this song. Joplin steps to the microphone and introduces her song this way. "I'd like to do a song of great social and political import. It goes like this." And as the commentator on this says, then she began to sing, exercising soulful control over her enormous, whiskey-soaked voice. It's a great way to describe Janis Joplin's voice. Here's the song she sings. "Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? My friends all drive Porsches, I must make amends. Worked hard all my lifetime, no help from my friends. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz?" She goes on to ask the Lord to buy her a color TV. And the Lord to buy her a night on the town. "I'm counting on you, Lord, please don't let me down. Prove that you love me. And by the next round, oh Lord, won't you buy me a night on the town?" And then she goes on to say, "Everybody." And nobody knows the song, so she keeps on singing. "Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? My friend all drive Porsches, I must make amends. Worked hard all my lifetime. No help from my friends. Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz?" What does that engender in you? Just think about it. When we laugh, but we laugh because we understand that there's something a little bit off about it. We understand there's a problem behind it. We understand that there's something in the lyrics that makes us uncomfortable. Maybe you found yourself thinking that very similar things in this life. "Lord, won't you provide X for me?" Something with a label, something that's of fine German engineering. Maybe you hear it and you think, couldn't she at least have been a little more modest and asked for, I don't know, a Honda or a Ford, something domestic, American-made. Maybe we're offended at someone who is so glib and flippant about such extravagance. But let me ask you this. And I want you to really ask yourself this. What do you want? What do you want? What do you desire? What sits deep down that if you were to be honest about it, you deeply long for, that you really want? What are those deepest desires? Brittany Howard, guitarist and lead singer for Alabama Shakes, in a recent Fresh Air interview with Terry Gross, described her life growing up. And here's how she described it. Whatever I wanted, I got. It doesn't really seem to match the soulful, earthy lyrics of Alabama Shakes for her to say, whatever I wanted growing up, I got. But that's her story. What do you think when you hear that? How does that make you feel? Could you ever dare to even say something like that, or believe or hope that whatever you want you could get? There's a little caveat with her, whatever I wanted, I got. See, she grew up, her father ran a junkyard. She lived out on a farm, and the way she describes it is you drive down this long road back to the farmhouse, a trailer actually, trailer sitting on a patch of grass surrounded by the junkyard. And so what she says is she describes it as a trailer home on a little patch of grass surrounded by a junkyard that she described as living in the eye of a junkyard hurricane. But whatever she wanted, she got, because her dad was a wheeler and a dealer. And so when she said, "Dad, I want a pony," she got a pony. But the pony she got bit and was mean. When she wanted something and asked her dad for it, he was able to get it, but it was always used, and it was never brand new or shiny. It was always worn. It needed a little work. Whatever I wanted, I got, but it was used. Does that feel better? Does that feel more comfortable than Janis Joplin? Yeah, we have deep desires. We have things that we deeply long for, but I manage to keep my expectations low. I'm not going to get my hopes up. I'll settle for something worn and used that bites. Welcome to Ecclesiastes chapter 2. I ask if you're able, you're willing to please stand for the reading of the scriptures. Ecclesiastes chapter 2, starting in verse 1. I said in my heart, "Come now, I will test you with pleasure. Enjoy yourself, but behold, this also is vanity. I said of laughter, it is mad, and of pleasure, what use is it? I search with my heart how to cheer my body with wine, my heart still guiding me with wisdom, and how to lay hold of folly, till I might see what was good for the children of man to do under heaven, during the few days of their life. I made great works. I built houses and planted vineyards for myself. I made myself gardens and parks, and planted them all kinds of fruit trees. Made for myself pools from which to water the forest of growing trees. I bought male and female slaves, and had slaves who were born in my house. I had great possessions of herds and flocks, more than any who had been before me in Jerusalem. I also gathered for myself silver and gold, and the treasure of kings and provinces. I got singers." See, it's biblical. "Both men and women, and many concubines, the delight of the sons of man. So I became great and surpassed all who were before me in Jerusalem. Also my wisdom remained with me, and whatever my eyes desired I did not keep from them. I kept my heart from no pleasure, for my heart found pleasure in all my toil, and this was my reward for all my toil. Then I considered all that my hands had done, and the toil I had expended in doing it, and behold, all was vanity and a striving after the wind. And there was nothing to be gained under the sun. And then skipping to verse 24, there is nothing better for a person than he should eat and drink and find enjoyment in his toil. This also I saw is from the hand of God, for apart from him, who can eat or who can have enjoyment? For to the one who pleases him, God has given wisdom and knowledge and joy, but to the sinner he has given the business of gathering and collecting only to give to one who pleases God. This is also